Wait, hold on. If you could like get the rights to any like old unfinished show or whatever, just like an ended show, and then continue with a new season, what would it be?
Tutweezy, the YouTube animated series.
No.
That's still going.
It's still going. Pick something else. Come on. You don't have all day.
Oh god.
Mine is My Life Me. JC, my homegirl, how you doing, honey? I hope you're a fan.
I do Gilligan's Planet where they have to go I pick Gilligan's Z where they have to go to the power tournament.
Gilligan's Planet. Fuck, I can't believe I forgot about that already. Again.
How many people are in the cast?
There's Skipper, Gilligan, the
if there's
rich
10, that's
person and the
perfect.
wife. Rich person, the wife, the scientist, the movie star, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. There's 6, so they need 4 more.
4 more people from the Gilligan verse.
Yeah, 4 aliens that come across in Planet Gilligan.
What if there was a Spider-Verse but with Gilligan's Island? There were just different multiverses of Gilligan.
I would love to see how many versions of Skipper there are.
I guess there kind of are.
There's a cartoon of him, yeah.
Gilligan verse.
Gilligan's universe.
You're me? But, no, I'm Spider-Man. No, I'm Gilligan.
No, Thunderhead, they're the Gilligan from that universe. Team captain.
You're obviously new to this. We've been doing this for a while now. Steven, was Gilligan's Planet your real answer?
It'll do for now, unless I think of one.
Okay,
Elias.
Elias. One that's not Tutweezy.
You managed to say that before I could say Tutweezy again. Bebe's Kids.
That was just a movie.
You bring it back on Adult Swim, so it's twice as like parental abuse. You little motherfucker! I'll beat the shit out of you. I'll smack the black off of you. That's an actual line from the movie, though.
Well, okay, as long as it's in the movie, then that's fine.
Super Duper Sumos.
Damn you! You stole mine.
Well, what happens in season 2 of Super Duper Sumo?
They go to the power tournament.
No, they don't. You can't do a crossover.
They're the They're the extra 4 in Gilligan's Planet's
There's only 3 of the Super Duper Sumo.
It's just like a generic TV show, but that you never see them move. They're just in places.
They stay in their fucking animation style, so it's this Hanna-Barbera Limited on top of the Super Duper Super.
It's just Flash, but they're all just PNGs.
Oh my god.
It's like South Park animated, where they just have like mouths on top of their
George, what Hanna-Barbera cartoon would you continue?
I don't want to do a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Specifically Hanna-Barbera!
Wait, hold on. I would probably do some like Scooby-Doo nonsense.
True.
There are a lot of those in the Hanna-Barbera lore.
Mm-hmm.
I would make more cryptid Scooby-Doo, Blair Witch weird parodies they did.
True.
I always forget Scooby-Doo's Hanna-Barbera because it's so much better than like any other Hanna-Barbera property.
It was their mascot, man. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they tried a few times with the Scooby-Doo formula, maybe because of Scooby-Doo.
They got 2 WWE movies.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We still have to watch those.
Just buy the DVD already.
Okay, but we all have to
You're going
watch
to
it.
Walmart tomorrow.
You're right. I actually am. I gotta get bread.
Have some of my bread.
Nah, I need whole wheat.
Oh,
Low carb.
Hold on.
No, no offense. I'm just saying. Let's see here. Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
I don't want to talk about Hanna-Barbara.
What if Sans was in a Hanna-Barbera cartoon? Which one would he be in that was not Scooby-Doo?
He would be in Top Hat, except instead of Top Hat and the little guy, it would be Papyrus and Sans.
I take my question back because you answered that so quickly it made me sick.
It's true, he did grumble into his hands a second. Elias is hyperventilating. He needs candy to solve.
Leftover Halloween candy.
To deal. If Palo was in a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, which one would he be in?
We can't talk about Palo in every episode. He doesn't even watch this. He was just there one time and screamed.
I'll make him watch us. Don't worry.
Make him.
Yeah.
He'd be in the Flintstones.
Which one would he be?
He would be there also. He wouldn't be one. But if he was, he'd be Bam Bam. He'd make his own noises when he hit the club.
Yeah, instead of a club, he has a table he just brings around.
He just breaks a table on Fred Flintstone's head. Like, hey, what are you doing carrying a whole table there, Bam Bam?
There's Sans as a Hanna-Barbera.
What's this Mexican doing in here?
What is this real life Mexican doing in my house?
Wilma! There's a Taco Man here.
Bonnie!
Why don't you just take the Palo green screens and put them on the Flintstones?
I will.
I will help you.
I hate that stupid green screen thing you made with the Nostalgia Critic.
Go to our Twitter to find the Nostalgia Critic green screen.
It was just like so like choreographed. He's like stepping in. Like the clip was so short you had to play it over itself. It was.
It's hard to find full body green screens in Nostalgia Critic.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Burn.
Stay tuned this Christmas for a Walker Brothers Christmas.
I'm Mr. Doug Walker.
I'm Mr. Skis. Dun-dun-dun-dun. I'm Mr. No More Hair. I'm Mr.
No, keep going. This is
I'm
good.
trying. I'm Mr. No More Hair.
I'm Mr.
Mr.
No
Rob
Hair.
Walker.
I'm interrupts it. I'm Mr. Rob Walker. I'm Mr. Slow. Dun, dun, dun.
Mr. Slow.
He slows production down.
I'm Mr.
No, production always gets slowed down when Doug has to write Rob into the skit.
I'm Mr. Not in Frame. I'm Mr.
He watches the entire video and he's like, so Rob, what do you think? He's like, well, I'm not in it. Yeah, you weren't in the script. Where's my part? We'd have to go back and film you. We didn't even film a part for you.
And he just stands there silently for like 10 seconds, and then you just hear, ba-dum bum bum, ba-dum bum bum.
He's too.
I'm Mr. Dog Walker. I'm Mr. Skis. I'm Mr. No Hair. Come here, give me money, please.
Good luck editing this in a Start the episode! Disclaimer.
Disclaimer! Crossing the Line is not a show intended to bully or harass anyone. Do not go out of your way to find or mess with the authors featured on our podcast. They make what we do possible, and we love them. And you. Thanks. Enjoy.
Disclaimer, we're talking about the Miser Brothers.
No, we're talking about the Walker Brothers.
Oh my god.
Today's episode is on Undertale. Yay! What is everybody's experience with Undertale? Which only has one media property.
I didn't get to do the intro, but that's okay.
That was pretty good. I thought it was a very good game. It's one of the few indies that I would consider like classic at this point.
I'll do it
No,
next
I
time.
have a question. Steven.
Yeah.
Start over.
Hey!
I'm Mr. Blue Breed. I'm Mr. Porn.
I need just the instrumentals to the song!
Mr. Boobs and Butts. I'm Mr. foghorn. They call me whatever I touch turns to skis in my clutch. I'm too much. Dun, 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 dun. He's Mr. Blue. Come on, everybody. He's Mr. Porn. He's Mr.
It's not even instrumental, you're just screaming louder than the song.
It's the karaoke version. It's not supposed to have lyrics.
We're never recording after 10 p.m. again.
Alright.
You don't even have like an energy thing, you just have water tonight.
Yeah, my body's reacting positively to not having salt injected in me. Oh my god.
Okay, so you're finishing a new artwork comic, and you finish it with your girlfriend in the room, and you turn around and say, "Hey, what do you think of this new comic?" But before you say that before you turn around, you say, "Hey, what do you think of this new comic?" And you turn around, and then a hand slaps on your shoulder, and it's Doug Walker, and he's looking at the comic, and he says, "Well, it's pretty good, but I'm not in it. I thought we discussed I'd get my cut. Where's me in this comic?" And you're like, "This is like the 8th panel, Doug. I didn't write you into this story. Why would you be here? This is the climax of my porn comic. They're having intercourse and it's almost over, and you're not in the comic, Doug."
I want to have intercourse, Blue Breed.
Okay.
That was the deal we struck, and that is the deal I will receive.
Ah! He's like, well, I promised my patrons that it'll be out tonight, and I don't really have time to write you into the story.
I promised them specifically you would not be in it.
And then he grabs you and his head turns huge, like in his grandma got run over special.
You have
Steven,
one.
what do you do?
You have one sentence to convince Doug Walker that he does not need to be in this comic.
Oh, I do I? Are you sure it can't be one song? I won't do it this time. Let's see here. I would ask.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Crossing the Line, a fanfiction podcast where we read, review, and critique fanfiction for your listening pleasure. Today, Undertale!
Okay, to answer that question again, Stephen, what is your experience with Undertale first, since you did it first last time, but I cut you off?
Okay.
Now, Steven, finish what you're doing with the Nostalgia Critic.
I'm confused because I have my finger
Did
over
we just
the button.
shut you down?
Yeah, I was about to say I have my finger over the fucking YouTube play button.
Okay, nope, you don't get to do that.
Alright, anyway,
Undertale.
so my experience with Undertale is it's a very good game, very reminiscent of Earthbound. I think that's like the general newbie consensus on it whenever someone plays it for the first time. But it's one of the few indies that like really feels like a classic in its own right. Like up there with like Shovel Knight, and I guess if you counted like FNAF,
Oh.
I would put it over both of those just because it fits my it's a personal decision.
How was Owlboy? Did anybody play that?
No.
I wanted to play it, but I never got around to
The
it.
build-up was so big for that, but then nobody actually talked about it ever again.
Very true, but everyone I have seen talk about it is nothing but good to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. The mechanics just didn't super interest me, and I didn't hear anything about the story or characters, so there was no reason to play it.
Yeah.
I have nothing but good things to say about Undertale. It was fun. It was sweet and to the point. I love RPGs like that just have a linear story and don't worry about being open or kind of meander through mechanics. It all had a purpose and it was short and sweet, and that's just the best way to play something.
Right.
It is a tight little game.
Mm.
I just played Donut County earlier this year, and I platinumed that in one sitting, or within one day, because I was just obsessed with the game, and all the mechanics were really good, and it was as long as it needed to be, and it was nice, and that kind of thing is really good.
Oh yeah.
And with the recent release of DeltaRune, which is an anagram for Undertale, if your idiot brain couldn't figure that out, we got back in the vibes again.
Idiots in our audience.
We got in the vibes again, so now we wanted to see what other people thought about Undertale by putting them in other dimensions,
Yeah,
as seems to be the theme of Undertale.
like they do.
Yeah.
So,
All
does
right.
anybody have anything else to say before we get started?
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to.
Is it Miser Brothers related?
I mean, it might be. but no.
Give me
no.
that.
No, I need it.
You can't be trusted with your tablet any longer.
No longer.
Every time you always like play music into the microphone, like into the microphone. And I have to edit it down and clean my ears.
I have to hear it. I like your reaction. Your face got angry immediately, but then it didn't stop. It just grew worse and worse.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I'm so sick of your matter-of-fact attitude.
I'm always so snotty from the intro. I'm laughing.
I
that
hate
can't
you saying
talk.
that in every episode.
I can't help it.
You don't have to say it.
George, I hate you complaining every episode. I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, alright, the Snotcast.
Alright, let's derailed really fast. Alright, who wants to go first?
Back at the Barnyard Cast.
I want to go for.
Alright, Elias, hit us. Please, hurry.
What's wrong? You don't want to do a Back at the Barnyard Cast, Eli ass?
What do you like? The "Don't Back Down" by Ben the Cow.
I love that, in fact.
Google "Don't Back Down" cover by Ben the Cow on YouTube.
Don't worry,
Look
I'm
up
coming
Snotty Boy yell. Look up what he yells at Snotty Boy on YouTube.
That was the worst thing I ever saw.
That was the worst thing
Except for
ever.
the time where you looked up like Sheen on Google and we got like a top 10 like SJW list or something.
Right. Top
You just like Googled Sheen and then it came up with like top 10 ways to avoid SJW.
Right.
Sheen is the top 10 way.
Oh god.
It was a Saturday, and 5-year-old Michelle Tanner was bored. Everyone else in the house was doing their own thing, and right now she was in the garden trying to
Michelle
teach
Tanner, huh?
I'm mad.
trying to teach the family dog, Comet, how to stand on 2 legs, which wasn't going really well. This is a dumb idea. You're a dog. You can't even talk, let alone walk on 2 legs. I don't know why I decided to teach you that to walk on 2 legs in the first place. Michelle sighed as she sat down on the grass. Everyone is busy, and there's nothing for me to do. She felt a nuzzle on her face, and the little girl looked to see Comet nuzzling her cheek as if he was wanting Michelle to play with him, but she didn't feel up to it right now. Sorry, Comet, I'd love to play with you right now, but I'm just not feeling up to it right now, she sighed before standing up. Maybe I'll go see what DJ's up to. The 5-year-old turned around and went back into the house to find her older sister DJ, who was up in her room with the best friend Kimmy Gibbler, and the two were currently discussing cute boys from their school, when they were interrupted by the youngest member of the Tanner family, as she walked into the room without knocking.
Okay, I don't know anything about Full House. And I don't really want to.
Michelle
But
Tanner's the little one.
I know like most of the characters. All I hope is like Uncle Joey shows up and becomes a pivotal part of the plot.
After Uncle Joey comes and it's actually Joey's World Tour Joey.
I never thought I'd
It
hear
wouldn't
somebody
be
describe Michelle Tanner walk into the room without knocking. she's like a foot tall, and she does because they don't like have doors on the sets. She just walks through.
Right.
Sorry, I derailed the podcast with a bad meme.
Michelle, haven't you heard of knocking? DJ implied. I'm sorry, Michelle replied as she left the room, shut the door before knocking. Now may I come in? Yes, Michelle, DJ replied, and her little 5-year-old sister re-entered the room. What can I do for you, Michelle? Will you do something with me? Michelle pleaded, showing off her puppy dog eyes. I'm bored, and I want to do something with my big sister, pretty please. Sorry, Michelle, but me and Kimmy are very busy at the moment, DJ replied. Doing what? Michelle asked suspiciously as she could see that both DJ and Kimmy didn't look like they were busy. She may only be 5, but she wasn't stupid. You don't look busy to me.
Wait, hold on. Is she being portrayed as Mary Kate or Ashley?
Doesn't say.
Which would you prefer?
Mary Kate.
Good choice.
Yours.
We're discussing cute boys. It's very important business, Kimmy stated. Michelle went to protest, but DJ asked if she would rather hang out with Stephanie than 2 15-year-old girls talking about boys. Daddy said we shouldn't go near Stephanie because she's contagious, the little girl pointed out.
What?
Damn.
What?
Stephanie was currently sick with tonsillitis and had to stay bedridden, so that meant Michelle had to sleep on a little camper bed in Danny's room until it had cleared up, as he didn't want Michelle catching it. Plus, her throat is all swollen and she can't talk, so she won't be much fun. Knowing that DJ was too busy to do something with her, Michelle sadly left the room and went to try her luck with the rest of the family. But everyone was too busy, so in the end, she gave up and sat down on the couch, sighing with boredom. Everyone is too busy to do anything with me, she muttered before hearing someone approaching, and she looked up to her dad, Danny Tanner, entering the room, and the first thing he noticed was how fed up his youngest child looked. That's Bob Saget, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, as they do when anybody in Full House enters a room.
yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Michelle, is something bothering you, honey? He asked, joining the little girl. Yes.
Anything bothering you, honey?
I almost spent a bunch of money to see him on Broadway, and then I was like, it's really not worth the joke. I don't want to sit through that.
Yeah, now that he says pussy in every other sentence.
God, yeah.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, his stand-up's
His stand-up's
no
bad.
good.
Oh,
Stand-up's
really?
like Dane Cook, where he just swears and laughs to himself.
Terrible.
No one will do anything with me, Daddy, she implied. DJ's in her room talking about gross boys with Kimmy Gobbleburger. Uncle Jesse and Joey are busy writing a song for a new commercial, and I don't want to bother Stephanie because she's highly contagious and Aunt Becky is busy with Nikki and Alex, Daddy. Will you do something with me?
We've already assessed that Stephanie is highly contagious.
Gobble burger?
Oh, I'd love to, sweetie, but I've got some business to attend down at the station. But I promise we'll do something fun tomorrow.
Wait, what does he do for a living again?
I actually know how to do a Bob Saget impression. I don't know why I'm doing this dumb.
Not Bob Saget, but Tanner in character. What's his...
He's a, morning show host.
Right, that's right.
Okay.
We'll do something fun tomorrow, Danny replied before planting a kiss on Michelle's forehead.
I don't think this is the first Full House crossover we've done. I
hope
think
not.
we've done more in the past.
I love Full House. In the meantime, why don't you watch some cartoons to pass the time? And your Uncle Jesse should be finished writing his new song soon, so he might do something fun with you. After giving Michelle another kiss, he headed down the door, and the little 5-year-old sighed in boredom and curled up on the couch feeling ignored and miserable. No one wants to do anything with me.
Now
It's
she's
like
gonna climb
I'm
up Mountain
invisible, she implied. They always say she implied.
Right.
What does she say that is implying that and not saying that?
Why is she so wishy-washy? Why can't she just say it?
Maybe I should just disappear forever. It was at that moment when an idea came to her head. That's it. I will disappear. I'll run away from home. I could go live in the park.
God, she's actually gonna climb Mount Ebot.
I swear to God.
Michelle got up from the couch, got her bag pack from her and Stephanie's room as she quietly snuck in wearing one of Danny's dust masks so she couldn't catch Stephanie's tonsillitis. They really just don't like Stephanie. They're really afraid of her.
Stephanie
Right.
has to die.
My God.
Filled it up with cookies and candy bars before placing it on her back and sneaking out the front door.
Bob Saget's gonna kill 7 children trying to reincarnate Stephanie.
Just then, Bob Saget kicked her square in the chest back into the living room. Not really.
Oh my God.
At
Where do you
least
think you're going?
trying to escape!
No one gets out of Danny's house.
She ran until she reached the park. At least there's more stuff to do here, she stated. I'll live here for a little while until my family say sorry for ignoring me. Why won't they do anything with me? I'm a fun girl. The little girl spent a good few hours playing in the park, occasionally pointing out random adults as her parents if someone got the suspicion that she was by herself. And pretty soon, it was beginning to get dark, and Michelle had to find some place for the night to sleep because the city could be very dangerous to a 5-year-old child who was by themselves, and she remembered that there was a cave in the middle of the woods nearby the park.
Don't they live in like San Francisco?
Yeah, my
Yeah,
God.
they do.
The good old San Francisco cave.
Yeah.
The underground.
She knew about a cave nearby. A cave that was situated at the base of some mountain, and apparently that whole area had been sealed off due to rumors of children going missing in that area. But
Oh my
Michelle
God.
wasn't the kind of child who did what they were told, and despite there being keep-out signs around the area, Michelle ignored them and went into the cave. She could use her not being able to read as an excuse if she was caught, despite the fact that she was in the middle of learning to read and was improving so she could easily read this sign.
Good to know.
God.
God, that's a cool flex, Michelle.
Weird flex, but okay.
Holy cow, it sure is dark in here, she pointed out, slowly walking around and not knowing where she was, walking towards a huge gaping hole. I wish I was brought a flashlight, then I can see what's in this. Her sentence was cut off when she lost her footing and went tumbling down the huge gaping hole, and she was now screaming at the top of her lungs. It felt like she was falling for hours until she came to a soft landing on a small bed of golden flowers. And after taking in her surroundings, Michelle noticed that she was in what appeared to be some underground tunnel.
This is so stupid.
Why?
It's
Full
Undertale!
House?
I know!
Who the hell thought of that?
Well, who else would have been the kid? Come on.
I want a DJ to fall in the fucking hole.
I wanted Kimmy Gibbler to fall down the hole.
I want to see a 16-bit Michelle.
I want Bob Saget to fall down the hole.
Oh, why the fucking pussy am I here?
He would knock up Toriel.
It was a pretty good
I'm
impression.
gonna fuck that dog.
Michelle noticed.
He calls her a dog to her face.
She says something to him and he just ignores it and then says to the audience, I'm gonna fuck this dog.
And then he waits for a couple seconds like they have to do when they're filming a sitcom. For the laugh track that's not there.
Michelle noticed that she was in what appeared to be some underground tunnel and she was surrounded by 4 pillars-like structures which were covered in leaves and vines. What the heck is this place, she wondered. This is just like Alice in Wonderland. Now how the heck do I get out of here? She looked up from where she fell and saw that the hole was too high up for her to climb out. So the only basic thing she could do was call out for help. Hello, is anybody up there? My name is Michelle Elizabeth Tanner and I fell down this big hole. Now I'm stuck down here. Hello? Daddy, Uncle Jesse, Joey, anyone? But nobody came.
She cannot talk in those kind of sentences.
But nobody came, and knowing she couldn't go out the way she came, Michelle decided that the only option was to see if there was another way out. And seeing that there was a corridor leading to somewhere, the little 5-year-old got to her feet and waddled the way down the corridor.
Waddled?
I made that. I added waddles. I stumbled because I started laughing at that.
Gross.
She came straight to the underground without knocking.
I hate the thought of any character waddling.
Toriel's like, you just came into my house without knocking?
Yeah, you got it, dude.
You got it, dude.
Toriel's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I locked that door. You're like 1 foot tall. How did you get in here?
Hey, Michelle, I'm gonna fuck that dog.
Danny Tanner.
She calls him by his full name.
Toriel
Not
watching
Dad. Danny Tanner, what are you doing here?
Michelle, call me Dad.
No.
No, how'd you get here? Who are you?
Oh my god.
The little 5-year-old got to her feet and made her way down the corridor, hoping it would lead to a way out, but unfortunately it led to another room, and the first thing Michelle noticed was there was a flower growing on a small patch of grass right in the middle. It looked just like the one she had landed on, only it seemed a little taller than the others. But what really caught Michelle's attention was that this particular flower seemed to have a face which seemed to be looking and smiling at the girl. Feeling more curious, Michelle went to get a closer look at this strange flower, only to get a huge shock when it suddenly spoke. Howdy, it said in a rather high-pitched voice. Howdy, said in a rather high-pitched voice, causing Michelle to stumble back in shock, open-mouthed. Golly, you're a clumsy little thing, ain't you? For the first time in her life, I thought it was supposed to be a flower. Golly, you're a clumsy little thing, ain't you?
I wonder if Michelle's gonna do a genocide run.
For the first time in her life, Michelle was speechless. She just stared open-mouthed at the talking flower, tilted its head, looking at her curiously. You don't talk much, do you? Whoa, baby, was the first thing that came out of Michelle's mouth after finally finding her voice. You're a flower, and you can talk? Holy cow, how are you doing that? I have my secrets, the flower beamed. Anyway, I'm Flowey. Flowey the flower, and you must be new to the under.
Sounds like he's in so much pain.
He sounds like he works at McDonald's.
Sound like the freaking fast food kid from The Simpsons.
Yeah. Welcome to Krusty Burger.
Flowey the flower, and you must be new to the underground, right? You got it, dude. Michelle replied, still unable to process.
Everywhere you look,
Somebody got it.
Oh my god.
What's wrong?
Michelle replied, still unable to process the fact that there was a talking flower right in front of her. Was this even real? Did she hit her head when she landed, and all this was some weird hallucination brought on by the bump? She decided to pinch herself to make sure she wasn't just imagining this, but as she felt the pinch, Michelle knew that this was actually happening. Golly, I bet you must be really confused. A little child as young as yourself trapped down here, not knowing what's going on, Flowey said in an almost patronizing manner. Don't worry, because this little old me is going to teach you how things work down here. Michelle watched as a row of small white seed-like objects suddenly
She
appeared.
literally just walked into Undertale.
Without even
Without
knocking. They're spinning. What are those? No, sorry. What are those? The 5-year-old asked. She was beginning to sense that there was something off about all this. After all, Danny had always told her not to accept things from strangers. What, these things? Why, these are called friendliness pellets, and if you catch some, you'll gain so... LV, do you know what that is? Michelle shook her head, her pigtails swaying from side to side. Why, it's love, of course. I'm sure a nice little girl like yourself would love some love, so I'll share some with you. He winked at the little girl, sticking out his tongue in the process. Now move around and catch as many as you can. Them or you catch, the more love you get. The pellets then began to fly towards Michelle, but the little girl knew there was something not quite right about all this, so she jumped out of the way, and the expression of Flowey's face seemed to change. He appeared to be a little more irritated, but was still smiling.
Getting revved up there, aren't you?
Hey, pal, you missed them, he pointed out. Don't you want love? My daddy told me never to accept things from strangers, Michelle implied, folding her arms. But I'm no stranger. You already know my name, so it's impossible for me to be a stranger, so if you already know who I am, Flowey replied.
That's fair, Fly. That's fair game.
Now let's give it another try. Catch the pellets. He tossed another row of pellets, and once again, Michelle jumped out of the way, and he was beginning to get a little more irritated. What's the big idea? Are you playing some kind of joke? Are you dumb? Run to the bullets. Oops, I mean friendliness pellets. No way,
It's not
Jose,
her soul, like in the
Michelle
game. She's just like,
retorted, shaking her head as her arms remained folded, and it was at that point when Flowey's expression drastically changed from being friendly to something far more sinister, causing Michelle to squeak and jump back in fear.
She's like spot dodging like in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, going like flashing.
Yeah.
I guess you know what's going on here, he stated, his tone sounding more sinister. You just wanted to see me suffer. Well, let me tell you how things really work down here. In this world, it's kill or be killed. You got a bad attitude, Michelle replied, still keeping her distance from the psychotic plant. But before she could say anything else, a circle of friendliness pellets surrounded the 5-year-old girl, and for the first time in her life, 5-year-old Michelle Elizabeth Tanner had never felt so scared. Well, it's been great meeting you, little human, but it's time for me to take your soul so I can finally leave this cursed place. The evil little flower stated as Michelle gave him a stern look and began wagging her finger at him despite being scared.
You just can't turn that off.
I couldn't. There was no other quotes, so I didn't know it ended.
Right.
Flowey threw his head back and cackled maniacally. She said, "You're in big trouble, mister." "I think you'll find it's you who's in big trouble," he mused, expressing still remaining evil. "Now die!" He cackled even more as the circle of pellets slowly closed in on Michelle. A now terrified child curled up in a ball as they drew closer and closer, leaving no room for her to escape.
Oof.
That's the end.
That's the end?
She died.
What?
I guess.
Wait,
That's the
what?
end!
That's it.
Michelle, no!
We'll never know what happened. Will the house ever be full again?
Somebody said, I hate cliffhangers. You're on the wrong website, pal.
I was about to say.
What would you rate that story?
That's a good one.
That's 3 doors that I went in without knocking.
I would rate that Bob Saget starting a pussy joke, but just stopping and giggling when he says the word pussy.
I would rate that Flowey's surprised expression when Michelle walks into Undertale without knocking. A real human.
Photorealistic.
Photorealistic tweening JPEG of Michelle Tanner.
A green screen of Michelle Tanner going in.
So, did you just walk into Undertale without knocking? You got it, dude.
She gives a thumbs up.
Yeah. A nice JPEG image of Michelle Tanner with a thumbs up.
Oh my god. Alright, who's next?
You went last time, so you should probably go.
Okie doke.
That was
Alright.
crazy.
That was really good. That was fun.
There's probably a lot of Full House fan fiction for like someone for some bad reason.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it. Alright. Yo fam, where the shit am I? Greg asked Flowey. You're in the underground, golly.
Chloe.
You're in the underground. Golly, you must be new around here, said Flowey. Geez, fucking Flower, who the hell says golly? That's fucking gay, said Greg.
Flowey's like, oh, okay, well, I've never been called gay before, but...
I'm trying to think of what Greg this is.
Oh, you got...
I only know one Greg.
Restart the
Alright.
story.
And I know it's not that Greg.
Okay, I'll restart. Yo fam, where the shit am I? Greg asked Flowey. You're in the underground. Golly, you must be new around here, said Flowey. Geez, fucking Flower, who the hell says golly? That's fucking gay, said Greg. down here, you need LV to survive. That means love, said
This is
Flowey.
like perfectly picking up from where Elias is left off.
Right, it is. I'll give you some love. Ew, what the fuck? That's gay, you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Asked Greg. Flowey shot friendliness pellets at... Flowey shot friendliness pellets at Greg, but he dodged like the savage he is. Hey, buddy, you missed them, said Flowey. Walk into the bullets, I mean friendliness pellets. Wait, fam, are you trying to kill me? Asked Greg. Yes, you fucking idiot! Shouted Flowey.
Whoa.
Harsh.
Flowey surrounded Greg with a circle of bullets. Now get fucking dunked on! Screamed Flowey. Suddenly, Flowey was tortured by some fire shot by Toriel. Do not be afraid, my child, said Toriel. What the fuck is wrong with you, fam? Don't call me your child, said Greg. Do not use such language while talking to me, said Toriel.
She's gonna put him in his place.
Greg looked at Toriel's dress. What fucking team is that? Is that Alpha Insignia or whatever the fuck it's called? Asked Greg. Do not say such things, ordered Toriel.
It's like talking to like a bot. He just keeps responding with like Flowey just continues his text, and then Azrael's like, please do, like every time you swear, it's just please do not say such things.
Right. Do not say such things, ordered Toriel. I'm tired of your fucking shit, bitch, said Greg.
She just got here.
Breaking the tutorial, Greg.
Greg pulled out his pistol and shot Toriel to death.
What? Genocide run, Greg.
Oh no! Greg went through the underground, killing everything until he came face to face with an invincible opponent. You cannot kill me, you cannot hurt me, declared the beyond enraged dummy. You cannot stab me, or freeze me, or burn me. Ugh, shut the fuck up, you fucking shitlord, shouted Greg. You're making me even more mad, shouted the even more beyond enraged dummy. Wait, fam, want to join my clan? Asked Greg. What's your clan name? Asked the even more beyond enraged
Fucking,
dummy.
Call of Duty clan name.
It's called the Alligator Pajamas, said Greg. Well, fuck yeah, then, said the mad dummy, who was no longer even more beyond enraged.
I still have no clue what this
You're
is.
gonna mess up your genocide
is-
run, Greg.
This is terrible. Greg and Mad Dummy continued to slay the underground until they came across some spider bitch. Well now, just relax. Why don't you come closer to me, sung Muffet. I'll just dry your veins as I enjoy my cup of tea. Stop fucking singing, fam, said Greg. Yeah, it's making me so mad, said the super extremely fucking pissed beyond
Greg's
all
like-
comprehension and completely batshit enraged dummy. Suddenly so sorry bursted into the room. Oh shit, I'm in the wrong place, said Bing Bong. Oh sorry, I meant so sorry. Oh shit, I just noticed.
Bing Bong?
I don't know what's going on. Who is this? Asked Muffet. He's kind of cute. What? Asked Bing Bong. Shit, I did it again. Suddenly the spiders picked up so Bing Bong sorry and tossed him towards Muffet. You two can go, said Muffet. Young love, let's get out of here, said the Mad Dummy. Greg and Mad Dummy continued their quest until they met Sans.
Until they met Sam.
You killed everyone but Muffet and Bing Bong, said Sans.
Everyone but Muffet and Bing Bong.
Sans sent out an uncountable amount of gaster blasters and fired them at Greg and the Mad Dummy. Greg died instantly. You
Okay.
killed my fucking partner, you goddamn shithead! Go to fucking hell, said the uncomprehensibly ultra mega super laser death pissed and also extremely colossally ultimately gigantically fucking enraged dummy. What? How are you alive? I am a ghost inside a dummy. My cousin was in a dummy too until my partner showed up, said the incomprehensibly ultra mega super laser death pissed and also extremely colossally ultimately gigantically fucking enraged dummy. Oh my god! The uncomprehensibly ultra mega super laser death pissed and also extremely colossally ultimately gigantically fucking enraged dummy then sent out his dummy bots and had them attack Sans, but Sans dodged. However, dummy bots shoot homing missiles, so they went back to Sans, but he dodged again and missiles hit the incomprehensibly ultra mega death, laser death, pissed, and also extremely colossally, ultimately gigantically fucking enraged dummy. Uncomprehensibly ultra mega super laser death pissed and also extremely colossally ultimately gigantically fucking enraged dummy then used the Pokemon move Swift. Sans tried dodging, but the stars kept going after him because Swift can't miss. Eventually Sans died. Papyrus, you want to do anything? Fuck no, fam, Grillsby sucks, responded Papyrus's ghost. The end. Oh, there's a second chapter. Alright, we're going.
What is this?
This is supposed to be fucking Wimpy Kid in Undertale.
Oh, that
What?
Greg.
Is this written by who I think it is?
No, it's not him. It's someone worse.
Oh.
What do you mean it's not him? Who do you know that writes Diary of a Wimpy Kid fanfiction?
By fuck, you know him. The Sagan. Just Sagan. The
I
fuck-
do not.
Oh god, he
He
was,
was the Hankadot man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god.
right, okay, I do know who that
I
is.
guess keep going with
I guess so. It's only
even though
1,000.
the crossover died.
Even though he died, yeah. Oh wait, different one. The skeleton killed Greg. Now what am I to do? Said the Mad Dummy. Simple. Go to the surface and collect all the Dragon Balls, a voice said. What? Who's there? Asked the Mad Dummy.
I never would have known it was Greg from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
There was nothing!
The alligator pajamas might have been something, but I really
Maybe.
didn't get it.
Yeah.
He was just a little shit who made Toriel mad.
He called Flowey gay and then called Toriel a bitch and killed her.
Now, I haven't read those books, but I don't think Greg would have done that.
I thought it was Greg from Steven Universe.
That's what I thought.
Hey, Snowball!
Greg?
Ball? You're gay.
Ew! What the fuck's wrong with you?
Jesus Christ.
Alright. Simple. Go to the surface and collect all the Dragon Balls, a voice said. What? Who's there? Asked the Mad Dummy. There was no answer. Was I just imagining it? The Mad Dummy asked himself. No matter. I have no other options. The Mad Dummy was about to absorb the 6 human souls when Flowey blocked his path. Hey, who are you? Asked the Mad Dummy. Are you the one who told me to collect the Dragon Balls? Dragon Balls? What are those? Asked Flowey. Actually, don't answer. That stuff sounds gay.
Flowey's learned.
Oh, you got more offensive with your time gone.
Damn.
He didn't know what gay was before that.
I learned this new word.
He just thinks it's like a fucking... He doesn't know what it means. He's just using it.
Just like any other little kid.
There you go. Who's probably who fucking wrote this. Anyway, I need you to move so I can use the souls to go to the surface and revive my friend Greg, said the Mad Dummy. Greg? As in that arrogant brat who I hate? Asked Flowey. Wait, how do I know his name? Nobody ever told me it. So, you get moving or am I gonna have to make you? Asked the Mad Dummy. Of course I'm not moving, answered Flowey. I'm gonna absorb the souls myself and kill you so nobody can revive Greg. Flowey then absorbed the souls and became Omega Flowey. He then grabbed Mad Dummy with his vines and attacked him. However, the Mad Dummy used the Pokemon move Blast Burn. It was super effective because Omega Flowey is a Grass Steel type. Omega Flowey then reverted back into regular Flowey and the souls flew out of him.
Well,
Oh no! I undigivolved, said Flowey. Please don't kill me. Just as long as you don't bother me, said the Mad Dummy. The Mad Dummy then used the souls to break the barrier and left on his search for the Dragon Balls. Conveniently, Flowey had a Dragon Radar despite not knowing what Dragon Balls are and gave it to the Mad Dummy. Alright, the Dragon Radar says all 7 Dragon Balls are in the Krusty Krab, said the Mad Dummy. The Mad Dummy levitated, or whatever the fuck he does to move around, to the Krusty Krab and busted in.
right.
He saw Garfield the cat with all 7 Dragon Balls and a Krabby Patty.
You think he used them to wish for the Krabby Patty?
To wish for enough money for a Krabby Patty.
You know, I really only have one wish in life.
Any wish, huh? Could I have like 347 for a Krabby Patty? Like, yeah, I guess. Sweet.
Oh, okay. Speak your wish now.
I wish John was also a cat. I think it would be funny. Okay.
Your wish is granted. Hey, cat, could I have those Dragon Balls? Asked the Mad Dummy. No way. I paid the crab 3 cents for these magic wish stones, and I'm getting my money's worth, said Garfield. You're making me really mad right now, said the pissed dummy. Too bad, dumbass.
Can I have those? No. You're making me real mad!
You're making me really mad right now.
No. They're mine.
No. I came in, I asked for them.
No.
I've earned them.
You're making me really mad right now, said the pissed dummy. Too bad, dumbass dummy, said Garfield. I'm taking these Dragon Balls, screamed the enraged dummy. The enraged dummy threw his knife at Garfunkel, but that dank pussycat dodged it, and it was lodged straight in the head of Fred the Fish, forever ending his shit posting.
No.
My
Fred.
leg!
Forever ending.
My leg!
Forever ending his shit posting. Garfish posting then scratched up the enraged dummy. The enraged dummy then hit Garfuckwad with the Pokemon move Light of Ruin, making him faint.
Stop using Pokemon moves.
Unfortunately, the recoil made the enraged dummy faint as well. Probably not the end. Chapter 3. The mad dummy was the first one to wake up, so he went to go take the Dragon Balls but realized someone had taken them. He then tried to check the Dragon Radar, but that was gone too. "Hey you," the mad dummy asked. "What happened?" "Some talking flower came and took a few trinkets," answered Squidward. "That flower betrayed me," screamed the fucking pissed dummy. The fucking pissed dummy levitated to Kami's lookout where he saw Flowey. "Shenron," shouted Flowey, "come forth and grant my wish!"
Oh, so he knows who Shenron is.
He knows where Kami's lookout is!
He just keeps learning things in passing.
Yeah.
A smart guy. He said many lives to live.
He got a Zenkai after he made himself faint with his own move, so he immediately gained the knowledge.
He got a Zenkai after Greg called him gay. He was insulted so bad that he got better at insulting.
"I am the eternal dragon," said Shenron. "What is your wish?" "Finally," said Flowey, I wish Gregory Heffley would be revived."
No!
What is wrong with him?
You shouldn't have told us what the crossover was. I would have got it then.
"Very well," said Shenron. "It is done." Greg then appeared in front of Shenron completely alive.
Greg, this like stick figure drawing.
"What is your second wish?" asked Shenron. "I want a swag new laptop with CSGO and Minecraft, mate," said Greg. "Very well."
Greg, you just existed.
Stole the fucking wish.
I want a swag new laptop. Give it to me.
I was like, Greg, what the fuck?
Oh my
You
god.
you just came back to life.
No.
You don't say, "Hey, I'm alive." Wow, you say, "Yeah, I want the."
I want a laptop. Chop, chop.
You're fast to gain consciousness in your surroundings.
With CSGO and Minecraft. "Very well," said Shenron. "It is done." The laptop appeared in Greg's backpack. "What is your final wish?" asked Shenron.
Shenron can only grant 2 wishes.
"Yeah, on Earth, right?"
Yeah.
"Yeah." "I wish for," began Florey. "The ultimate lasagna," shouted Garfield. "Very well," said Shenron.
Why is everyone on Kami's lookout? Do you know how strong you have to be on Kami's lookout?
I know exactly how strong. It's exactly realistic.
How did Garfield get up there?
Slow and steady.
I'll get up
He
there
just kind of
eventually.
catwalked up
Oh wait,
there.
I think they retconned it somehow, so Shenron does do 3 wishes. I don't remember.
I can't remember.
It's because the new Kami was stronger. Or something like that.
Well, I remember when they
New
got
dragon.
Dende to do it. They said like,
two.
yeah, he could only do 2 wishes. But I think something happened, like in like the Yo-San Goku special or something.
Maybe.
Like-
I don't know.
Like the same reason why the like Emperor Pilaf and them are children or something.
Right.
Because a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
a lot happens in that thing that never
Yeah.
got dubbed, so half the fandom doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, I was about because like his wish power is only as strong as the friggin' like guardian. So
Mhm.
like I don't know what the hell.
Maybe Dende got jacked.
He got puberty.
Maybe. he climbed Kami's tower by himself.
Popo
Kami's
pushed him
lookout.
off and made him come back up.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, you're jacked now. That was a good choice. Good parenting move, Popo.
Very well, said Shenron. It is done. For fuck's sake, shouted Floyd. Hey, is this a daisy? Asked Garfield. No, I'm not, said Flowey. Well, you look like one, and I love stomping on daisies, said
It
Garfield.
all comes full circle.
Garfield then repeatedly stomped on Flowey. Ah! I will murder all of you later, said Flowey.
Can't believe
Later.
Garfield killed Flowey.
Greg, the Mad Dummy, and Garfield then went underground and into Torio's house, which they claimed as their own. The end. I will only continue this if I get new ideas. Chapter 4.
Well, he got new ideas.
Oh, well, yeah, this is a great chapter. Man, I feel like we had 2 non-canon adventures that will never be seen again, declared Garfield. Man, I feel like we had 2 non-canon adventures that will never be seen again, declared Garfield. Yeah, we probably did. They must have been really stupid, added the Mad Dummy. Whatever, fam, I got some tacos, said Greg. The 3 then ate the tacos. The tacos were actually from Waluigi's taco stand.
Yay.
Chapter 5. What should we do today, fam? Asked Greg.
Let's turn into a
New
sitcom.
story.
Yeah.
No, it's a new chapter.
Yeah, it's a new chapter.
Despite him saying, like, I don't know if I'll get any more ideas or not.
That was a great idea. They eat fucking tacos.
Most of the stories end like that. I really thought it would end.
Right. What should we do today, fam? Asked Greg. Let's fight Chara, decided the Mad Dummy. That's a cool idea,
Oh
commented
yeah, I forgot they were in Undertale.
What gave you that idea? Some guy named or something, answered the Mad Dummy.
Oh, censor that, censor that.
Wait, don't you mean the legendary blank? Asked Garfield. Yeah, that's it, answered the Mad Dummy. Wow, it must have been an honor to receive advice from such a legend, said Garfield. Let's go wreck Chara's shit, fam, declared Greg. Greg, the Mad Dummy, and
Why does
Garfield
Greg talk like
I
that?
don't fucking know.
Greg's
Why
cool.
Greg's awful.
Isn't Greg like the fat one?
No,
No,
Greg is
Greg's
the
the
kid.
normal one,
Yeah,
the
he's
main
the,
one.
Yeah,
It's the lanky, frowning one.
yeah. Greg's the main guy.
All the whole time I was thinking it was like his weird partner, his best friend.
Oh,
No.
Like Ronnie or...
Rowley.
Ralphie,
Fucking Rowley.
Rowley.
Rowley. They should put Fregley
Which
in
makes
here.
it better and worse at the same time.
Right, I agree. Let's see here. Greg, the Mad Dummy, and Garfield walked back to the flower patch at the Star of the Ruins. Alright, here's Chara, said Greg. Alright. She's dead, remembered the Mad Dummy. Did you just assume Chara's gender? Asked Garfield.
I was just about to make a bad joke about that.
It did for you. Hell yeah, answered Mad Dummy. and that's the author's assumption too. So shut your mouth before he removes you from the story. Garfield put duct
What
tape.
will we do without Garfield in the Undertale
He's the
story?
only character I care about in this fucking story right now.
Wonder if that lasagna he asked for was good.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything about it.
I want to know about Garfield. How he got to the Krusty Krab.
Flowey instead of acknowledging he got his wish.
He ignored his lasagna and went back down the tower.
He would never.
Garfield put duct tape over his mouth. So what now? Asked the Mad Dummy. Don't worry, fam. I got this, declared Greg. Greg pulled out his swag new laptop and went to Blank's profile on his very website.
I'm glad he's keeping the canon.
No way. Are you sure this is gonna work? Asked the Mad Dummy. It's gonna work, fam. Don't sweat it, answered Greg. Greg loaded up the worst fan fiction ever. Okay, so, hello, I'm Logan. I'm 17. I love Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Read
Censor
Greg.
that.
I
You don't
went,
have to censor just a first name.
I went there every day when I was a kid, and I love the animatronics, even though they never got off the stage, which was stupid. Nice fanfic, man. Nice joke fic, man, said Chara. Oh my god, it worked, shouted the Mad Dummy. Huh? Asked Chara. We're gonna fight you now, declared the Mad Dummy. Well then, if that's the case, I guess I'll just destroy this pathetic planet before you get the chance, declared Char. Oh shit,
How's
uttered
Char
the
gonna
man.
do that?
With one small knife.
Oh shit, uttered
You know
the
how,
Mad Dummy.
you know how in Kirby they do the Megaton punch and it cracks the world in half?
Yeah. It's gonna crack Undertale in half,
Oh no.
which also includes Kami's lookout.
And the Krusty Krab.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, uttered the mad dummy.
And
Garfield.
Muffet. Muffet's still out there.
In
That's
Garfield's
true.
house.
Garfield attempted to utter the eternal prayer to destroy Char's soul, but he couldn't because of the duct tape over his mouth.
He's like,
The mad dummy then grabbed his Waterium Z crystal and unleashed his ultimate attack, Hydro Vortex. It was super effective due to Char being fire type, and yes, that is too.
Pokemon move.
And yes,
third Pokemon joke.
The fourth.
and yes,
So stupid.
and yes, that is due to an assumption about how Chara is pronounced. Well, shit, said Chara. And that's it. That's the end of the story. Ooh.
Yay.
Huzzah. Well, fuck, that gave me a headache. Oh, there's 14 reviews.
Oh boy.
This is lit. Great job, author. Aha, it's so nonsensical. It's funny. Have them fight Gaster, please. This.
That's good. I wish Garfield would have fought Gaster though. I wish Greg from Diary of a Wimpy Kid would have fought Gaster though.
This doesn't depict Greg at all, LMAO. 10 out of 10 chapter.
I'm gonna rate this like the 5th Diary of a Wimpy Kid's book.
I'm gonna rate this like the 7th Diary of a Wimpy Kid's book.
Did they get that far?
Oh yeah, I read them.
They do have a lot, yeah.
I was reading them as they came out, and there was probably like 4 or 5, so easily 2 more.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like 4 movies.
Oh my god, yeah.
Make a chapter where Greg, Garfield, and Mad Dummy have an epic battle with Chara. Well, it happened.
Wow. Yeah.
What the fuck is this
And
crap?
Freezer.
Hell yeah. Too good. Please continue, fam. This is best story to ever grace fanfiction. WUV, MLG, Swag, Scoper, 69, 420.
Remember that fad on YouTube with the MLG videos?
MLG
Yeah.
memes were terrible. That started with Shrek and it made me really mad. That was the end of the quote-unquote golden age of memery. Ugh.
It was like post-Rage comics, but pre-ironic. Well, subtle sarcasm.
Yeah.
Everything's a meme.
Yeah.
God, I hate that everything's just like template memes now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all like the same.
Right.
Steven, you didn't rate the fanfic, I think.
Oh, we didn't rate it, did we?
We did, you didn't.
Oh.
Me and him both rated it different Diary of a Wimpy Kid books.
Oh, okay. I rated that one time in the books where Greg made Riley do the thing and then he got hit by a car and broke his arm.
Can you leave a comment that says, I'd like it if the story got really sexy in the next chapter?
Okay. Name Blueberry.
Okay, can you do that?
I'd appreciate it.
Grab mine. As always, I always grab multiple because I can never decide. But I know which one I'm going to read this time. But I do have my backup prepared in case this one bombs because I don't quite know the quality that it will provide.
I got you. Alright, I've posted my review.
Yeah, because I think this one will be entertaining, but because I read some of the comments earlier. But just in case it's a little too...
Right.
Okay.
Alright.
It all happened so fast. Where do I even begin? I was working in my laboratory on that eventful day. Well, let's be honest, it was really just my desk in my room. I was tinkering with my barrier blaster, another one of my many attempts to get to the surface, when there was a bright flash of light. The next moment I was back in my room, as though nothing had happened, but it felt as though something big had indeed happened. I heard a lot of monsters walking past the apartment I lived in, which happened to be near the stairwell. It seemed everyone was leaving. I decided to stay in my room. I didn't really want to stop working on my device just yet. I felt that I was so close to finally getting it to work, so close to the surface, so close to freedom. I figured if whatever was causing everyone to leave was that important, someone would come and get me. Eventually, someone did. It wasn't my parents, whom I shared the apartment with. That was to be expected, since they were rarely ever home. They were always busy, out and about, fixing important machinery all over the underground. I heard knocks on my bedroom door. "In, sir! In, sir! Come quick! Have you heard the news?" I don't know who In, sir is.
Might be an OC.
Maybe. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it was important. I tore myself from my work and opened the door. It was Erupt with his little sister Vulcan. Are these like NPCs in Undertale?
I can't remember. Oh, they
Are
are?
up in Vulcan.
Oh, okay.
Well, are they? I don't know. Usually the
I'm
names
not-
are like puns and stuff.
Right, I'm not recognizing any of the names.
Someone Google them,
Okay.
and I'll keep reading.
Okay.
The volcano monsters were boiling their lava with excitement. Annoyed by
Hey, what's her surnames?
Insur, INSUR.
Oh, yeah, yes, you are.
Annoyed to be pulled from my tinkering, I grumbled, "This better be important." "Oh, it is," said Erupt. "The most exciting thing in the
It just-
history of forever has happened."
All I did was come up with your fan fiction on Google. I shit you not. Yeah, I'll go back to it. See, Insert Undertale. Just came up with your fucking fan fiction. Can't believe that.
It's an OC, God!
Yep. Fucking hell.
I don't know if I want to read this anymore.
Alright, okay. Intermission, and then we'll do your other ones.
What was the crossover?
It was Code Lyoko.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I can't believe that. It just came up with
Pick
your fucking
up.
fan fiction on Google.
Yeah, that made me so upset.
Yeah.
And we're back. Now that I've decided not to read the story based on the OC, this one I know for a fact is not based on the OC.
Cool.
By the way, there's only one comment on this and it doesn't spoil anything, so I'm going to say it. "No offense, but this is too weird for me. I'm sure some people love this, but not me. Keep doing what you enjoy, though."
I like this. This is a good sign.
It is.
There's just an author's note that just says, like, that this was rewritten, but I took out the song lyrics.
Oh, okay. Oh, no!
And then the typical disclaimer stuff. So they basically, like, rewrote it without me having to read, like, song lyrics, which is fantastic.
That
Took
is
out the
good.
Miser Brothers.
Yes, it was the Miser Brothers Undertale.
Here, I'll break it out again.
Hey!
Okay.
Okay. Undyne sliced through another shadow creature, grinning. Ever since Frisk freed the monsters, Undyne has had a field day with her new occupation of bounty hunter. She's been taking out evil monsters and humans without a care, and she loved it. The monsters and humans have also decided that they would continue to live in their respective locations, but would be free to visit each other at any time. Undyne's job required she be in both the underground and on the surface, so she and Alpheus found a place in between the two to live. She smiled at the thought of the shy scientific Drake, who was always waiting for her to get home. There it is.
You've ingested too much Undertale.
Yeah. Undyne collected her reward for the bounty and headed home to the underground, but she wasn't going home. Instead, she was heading to a tiny town called Snowden. It was her friend Sans' 121st birthday, and everyone knows that when a skeleton turns 121, it means they are officially considered an adult skeleton. Of course, that won't stop Papyrus from being protective of his younger brother. Undyne chuckled at the thought of the usually goofy skeleton being serious. She soon made it to their house and entered, just in time to see Sartorial bring out a cake for Sans. "Hey, Undyne, come help us sing to Sans," called Azrael, smiling. Azrael's here, that's pretty epic.
Oh, okay.
Undyne smiled and joined the group. They all began to sing "Happy Birthday" to Sans, who was grinning widely. He couldn't believe he was actually 121. His older brother Papyrus had turned 121 10 years ago. That's not true. And Sans had been waiting for when he did the same. Of course, that also meant Sans would now be facing the hardships his brother did as well. That's not true.
Yeah.
Many didn't know this, but unlike humans, skeletons don't start becoming interested in romantic relationships until they truly become adults. This meant that Sans now not only had to learn to not be as lazy as before, that's not true, but that he would also eventually start gaining feelings for someone who would become his significant other. However, Sans wasn't worried about that at the moment. Right now, he just wanted to celebrate his birthday with his friends. They all finished the song and started the rest of the activities, which included games, presents, and of course, cake. But Sans didn't tell any of his secret. He had been having visions of a figure he had never seen before. Since they always happened in his sleep, most would call them dreams, but he called them visions because he felt they were trying to tell him something. He always remembered exactly what the figure looked like too. So Sans is having wet dreams.
Good.
Wet bone dreams.
I like how they're like, at this age, the skeleton usually gets horny, but don't worry about that. Back to the story.
Just to preface that if he gets horny, this is why.
This is the reason.
Oh no.
He didn't just get horny for nothing after all. He couldn't help but smile more as he pictured the figure in his mind. It was a large, pitch-black animatronic bear. He had large claws and teeth, as well as a second mouth on his stomach. The bear was worn and tattered, but was still able to function just fine as if he was in a brand new condition.
Having visions of Freddy Fazbear.
Sexy visions.
I'm very
Why?
upset.
He had red sclera,
Sans would never be in a position to have anything to do with that.
white
Sans would
iris.
make fun of people who do that.
That's what happens when you turn 121, Steven. You start to see why people get like that. He had red sclera, white irises, and black pupils for his eyes, and was wearing a bright yellow top hat and bow tie.
Yeah, we get the idea.
For some reason, they're going back to the describe your eyes trope that I love so much.
Yeah.
Oh.
The green-eyed character who did this.
For some reason, Sans found the bear to be attractive, and he wasn't sure why. Somehow, he Aslo managed them to remember the bear's name, Nightmare. Nightmare was a later FNAF creation into the franchise.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Didn't know that. Is he also like a bear? I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a Five Nights at Freddy 4 bear.
Whoa.
Sans couldn't help the shivers that ran down his spine when he thought about the name. It wasn't one of fear either, but of anticipation.
I wonder who this author is who's like horny for this specific character. It's weird.
I don't know, but whoever left that comment wasn't into it.
What the hell?
He knew he would have the visions again tonight, and he was eager to see them again without knowing why he
They're all
felt this
throwing him a
way.
party and he's like, God, I hope I have another one of those dreams when I get home.
He is home.
Oh my god.
He's like, I can't wait to go to sleep and think about this.
I can't wait. Oh, I just gotta get through this chapter right fucking now.
Gotta get past this party for me.
Oh god, I'm gonna have a hard time fucking going through this one.
I feel like I'm passing out.
Oh, you hypoglycemic?
No, I don't get that.
Oh, okay.
I'm better than that, Steven.
Very well, very well. I don't doubt
You're
it.
so horny for this bear.
It's giving you the vapors.
Woo!
Oh my god.
Sans? You okay? You're spacing out, asked Frisk, waving her hand in front of the skeleton's face. Huh? Oh yeah, I'm fine, Frisk. Just thinking is all, said Sans.
Thinking about what, huh?
What you thinking about?
Nothing. Said Sans, reassuring his human friend that he was fine and that there was nothing to worry about. He glanced over at Papyrus, who was busy talking with Metaton. Sans smiled. Metatons and Papyrus got together a year after Papyrus's 121st birthday, and they were very happy together. Sans couldn't help but feel that this that this was what his visions were telling him, that this nightmare guy was meant to be his significant other. Deep down, Sans was practically praying that this was the case. Nightmare
Practically praying.
Nightmare had been kind in his visions, and Sans felt drawn to the being of the shadows
He wanted this CG dream character to be
that
real.
moves in like JPEGs.
Oh my god.
God, I hope this thing is real and also I can fuck it.
Anything's real now that the planes have been merged. I like how this started off as from Undyne's perspective,
Right.
like a real bait and switch.
Oh my god.
Eventually, the party ended and everyone went home. This left Papyrus, Metaton, Frisk, and Sans to do the cleanup. Not that they minded, of course. They managed to clean up everything, then decided to watch a movie before bed. Sans picked out one called Night at the Museum.
No!
And put it in.
Why'd he do that?
He loves Ben
Why
Stiller. Ben
that
Stiller's
one
funny.
Specifically?
When's the last time you seen Night at the Museum, Steven?
You're right, I can't argue. Can't argue, that was a decent pick.
Want to watch Night at the Museum and just record the audio?
We can just pirate the audio and use that for the podcast.
Upload that as the next episode.
There we go.
The audio of us watching Night at the Museum.
You can time your DVD
like that-
of it to
It's
it.
like that Grown Ups 2 podcast.
Yeah.
Just watch Grown Ups 2 every year and make a new podcast.
Oh my god.
I watched Night at the Museum one time. Maybe.
I remember the third one was pretty alright. The second one was just trash. Like, the third one's not good, but I guess comparatively it was good.
Right.
Because the second one's really bad.
Fun fact, I saw the first one 3 times in theaters.
Why?
Oh, okay.
I prefer to leave that part of it anonymous, but I've done it.
Sans picked out one called Night at the Museum and put it in, sitting on the couch afterwards. He couldn't get his mind off of Nightmare and his visions, though.
I thought he was gonna say Night at the Museum. He couldn't get his mind off
Nightmare in the Museum.
Nightmare at the Museum.
His visions changed to Ben Stiller.
He was no longer dreaming of this bear. He now could not stop dreaming of Ben Stiller.
Of a tiny Owen Wilson.
Sans is losing his fucking mind.
That's what happens when you turn 121. He couldn't get his mind off of Nightmare and his visions, though. Were they really trying to tell him that he and Nightmare are meant to be together? Stop saying that!
God.
They had to be. Otherwise, why would he be having them in the first place? Soon the movie ended and they all went to bed. So that didn't matter that he plugged Night at the Museum!
They wanted to watch it. He likes that
They
movie.
really like it.
As Sans climbed into bed and covered up, he smiled. Slowly, he closed his eyes and allowed the visions to come to him as dreams. Sans walked up to Nightmare, smiling. Hey, Nightmare. I made it. They don't know I'm gone. The black bear smiled at him, sending shivers down Sans' spine.
Good. If they knew, they would try to keep us apart again, and I don't want to lose you.
Again?
I'm not gonna do that voice, I'm sorry.
I was about to say
I'll pick a
that.
different voice. Said Nightmare, wrapping his arms around Sans and pulling him close.
I don't want to lose you either.
Said Sans, nuzzling the bear.
Garfield Sands.
The others had been trying. It's not Garfield.
What's the difference between Sans and Garfield?
You're right, Garfield died and then his skeleton turned into Sans.
Exactly.
The others had been
cat skeleton.
The others had been trying to keep them apart, but they weren't going to let that happen.
Yeah, right. Who cares?
Sans.
Goodness.
Alright. Sans placed a finger on Nightmare's lips.
Just kiss me already.
Said Sans, grinning as he leaned his face towards Nightmare's. Nightmare smiled and kissed
A
Sans.
second ago, he
hugging the
didn't know if he was
skeleton closer
real.
to him. It's a dream!
Very fast.
Oh, this is the dream.
He's
Oh,
coming in
okay.
his dream!
Okay.
Sans smiled in his sleep as the dream went on, not knowing that his visions would soon become reality. Chapter 2. Sans sighed. He'd been asked to run some errands for Papyrus, which include getting the groceries. He knew it was to help Sans get more responsibility, but that didn't mean Sans had to like it. The skeleton sighed again as he made it to the grocery store in the middle of town. Heading inside, looking at the grocery list, he frowned. Eggs, spaghetti, hamburger, pasta sauce.
He is
Ice
fucking
cream from
Garfield.
Sans questioned to himself, raising an imaginary eyebrow. It was an odd item, but then again it was Papyrus who made the list, and Sans never questioned his older brother's odd requests.
What was the odd item?
Egg, spaghetti, hamburger, pasta sauce, ice cream for Metaton.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
His horny robot boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Sans slowly walked around the store and gathered the groceries, even putting a few of his own in the cart as well. Soon he went to the counter and paid for the groceries, then left the store to continue his errands. Looking at the list, his next stop was a local library to pick up a couple of books for Alpheus, both of which were romance novels. His meat's gonna go bad, just sitting in a shopping cart that he stole from the grocery store.
God damn.
Sans chuckled and shook his head as he headed to the library, knowing the only reason Alpheus couldn't get the books herself was because she was so busy, what with being the royal scientist and all. After the library, Sans went to the joke store. Do you mind?
There was a ghost. It was Gaster.
Who's calling you at this hour?
It was Gaster, I told you.
I don't believe you.
Don't read Undertale fanfiction at 3 a.m. You're in the YouTube joke.
You're scrambling the audio.
It is. It's like almost midnight. It's ASMR. It's okay.
You're just silently crinkling that for so long. It's gonna be like just barely picked up.
You gotta enhance it, George.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it all in.
No.
After the library, Sans went to the joke store for himself and began heading back home. He's like, this one's for me.
Oh, doing this for
The
myself.
joke store.
You know where he buys
Like
jokes.
the SpongeBob gag shop or like the Pee Wee Herman magic shop.
Mm-hmm. He was on the other side of town by this point and didn't want to take too long getting home, so he decided to take a shortcut through the forest surrounding Snowdon. He found one of the many hidden paths and started on his way home. Looking around, Sans could see nothing but pine trees as far as the eye could see. Suddenly, he heard a branch break, whipping around towards the sound. Hello?
Imagine Sans whipping around,
His hand's still in his pockets.
smiling.
It's
the
like
whole
all
time.
those memes that play like a half frame of the Megalovania. Right on it. Right on it, man.
Love those.
Hello? He hesitantly asked, frowning. He didn't get an answer, but he heard another branch break. Without thinking, he began running, the sound following him. He took a sharp turn onto another path and kept running, eventually tripping as the sounds closed in on him. Sans shut his eyes and braced for pain. However, instead he heard a deep voice filled with concern. Are you alright? Chapter 3! Sans slowly opened his eyes and looked up. Standing before him was a familiar black bear with large teeth and claws, wearing a yellow top hat and bow tie,
He was in the woods.
while his sclera were red and his irises were white. Sans' heart leapt in his chest and began pounding. The bear was the exact same bear from his dreams.
Oh no.
Hi, said Sans, blushing.
I hate this so much.
The bear held out his hand, which Sans slowly took and was helped out. Here, let me help you, said the bear, helping Sans pick up his groceries. Sans nodded, paying close attention to the bear. Thank you. said Sans as he received his bags of groceries. The bear nodded.
No problem. My name is Nightmare,
said the bear, smiling. I'm Sans, said Sans, blushing again. I was heading home, he said, staring wide-eyed at Nightmare. Nightmare nodded.
Here, I'll walk you the rest of the way there,
the black bear offered, watching as Sans nodded and began walking with the skeleton. As they walked, Sans fidgeted slightly, occasionally glancing at Nightmare. It really was the bear from his dreams. Sans wanted to tell her about the dreams, to kiss him and be held by him, but Sans decided against it in case Nightmare didn't feel the same way. Instead, the two engaged in small talk, talking about things such as the weather and family. Soon the woods parted, revealing Sans' house. Well, here it is, Sans said as they reached the door. Thanks for walking me home. Nightmare nodded.
Anytime, Sans. Perhaps we can hang out sometime.
Sans nodded. I'd like that. Nightmare smiled, and then suddenly kissed Sans' cheek, making the skeleton blush. Sans slowly touched his cheek and smiled dreamily as Nightmare went back to the woods.
I'm not okay.
And then turned and went inside to find Papyrus and Metaton waiting for him. Sans, we need to talk. I like how the Nightmare just like tweens back into the forest where he lives, apparently.
You don't have any other else place you can live?
No, that's the end!
I wanted to hear what he wanted to talk about.
Damn, I wanted to hear the intervention.
He goes, Sans, we need to talk. And he goes, but
It's over.
Woo!
Alright. Well, that was Undertale.
Rate that fanfic.
Alright, I rate that a split second of Megalovania.
I rated the intro to the first Five Nights at Freddy's, but the voiceover is being done by Sans.
My voices just kept like going from down and down. Sans went from Garfield to Barney Rubble.
It was that.
It was very it was very dialogue heavy.
Yeah. Sans is horny.
That's a fact.
He's got a little cum stain in his basketball shorts.
And you can't see because he's a skeleton.
He just made up like some obscure birthday to say this is why I'm horny, it's justified.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm about to be 121 and everybody knows that when you're 121
I'm gonna rate that story a skeleton turning 121.
121 will forever be the cursed birthday.
Cursed number. I can't wait till we get to episode 121 of the podcast. So the podcast can nut.
You can finally
It'll
do it.
finally be an adult podcast.
We can finally do a Miser Brothers fanfiction.
An episode that's just us reciting the Miser Brothers song in plain text.
Yeah. We're too much.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you guys so much for watching our kooky little program. We hope you enjoyed it. Are we up on iTunes yet?
I'm working on the website, which is now public, that I'm working on that.
Yeah, there's a website up that we'll put on our Twitter sooner or later. But we're going to get iTunes figured out. It may or may not be by the time this episode is out.
As well as Spotify.
As well as Spotify.
It's just a matter of having a complete website to host everything through.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think SoundCloud's really the good way to go. I don't think it gets picked up on any podcast apps.
Not really.
So,
I mean, like, it's not a mainstream thing for podcasts, and that's because you have to pay by how much you have on there, and it quickly runs out of space by doing huge files like that.
Right,
So-
right.
But yeah, when you post through Spotify or Apple, you have to have like a site to host everything through. So that's what we're working on right now. It's going good. It's just a matter of like getting all of our files converted in the highest quality possible to have it hosted on that site. So it's taking some time to upload and re-upload everything and reformat it, but it's coming along.
So while we do that, it's up to you to spread the word and get the good name of Crossing the Line out there. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Maybe not tell your family if you don't have a comfortable relationship with them. But definitely tell your friends.
Tell your brother.
Tell your mutuals on Twitter. To retweet this on your NSFW blog.
Ask them if they like a green or a white Christmas.
Ask them if they like Doug Walker or Rob Walker better.
Has to make a poll and then send it directly to the Doug and Rob Walker.
Rekindle the change the channel hashtag.
That's terrible.
You know,
That's horrible.
when after this episode goes up, we'll do a Doug versus Rob poll on Twitter, and then we'll count the votes.
I'll help with that. Actually, that'd be funny.
They didn't respond to our GIF or that video I made of the edit. That's what they get. We're gonna rekindle change the channel just so they'll get harassed.
We'll make a 70-page Google Doc on why we think that Rob would.
And why we
be
want a green or
miser.
white Christmas.
Yeah.
It's only November, but Christmas is on the way.
It's on the way.
I don't know if we're actually gonna do like a Christmas special or not, but we'll consider it. Christmas is fun.
I'm sure we'll do some kind of holiday special.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye. Farewell. I'm looking up the song.
No!
Ah.
No, so close.
Okay,
No,
now you can look it up. I want to do like a fade out into like
Right,
us
right.
doing our Doug and Rob rendition.
Yeah.
I get to be Doug, so
Okay,
he
that's
goes
fine.
first.
That's fine. That's fine.
So you better think of your Rob lyrics.
Oh god, I actually have to do real lyrics now. Okay. Wait, I'm gonna look up some things about Rob Walker.
What are you going to find?
I'm sure there's a Channel Awesome wiki.
I don't want to know more than I already know.
Walker, I'm Mr. Two.
I know enough.
Mr. Two.
Wait, is he the younger or older brother?
He's the young. Nah, he's older. He's older brother.
I'm Mr. Two. I'm Mr. Treachery. Always in my brother's shoes.
Oh, I got in my brother's shoes.
I wish I was in my brother's shoes.
Here we go. The other guy, Channel Awesome.
Friends call me Rob Walker. Whatever I touch.
Becomes irrelevant compared to what my brother makes in my club.
I'm too much. God, I hate that like 2008 version of the Chris special. They look like Robot Chicken.
They're very like the voices aren't good.
Snow Miser looks awful.
Snow Miser's annoying. There was a new special in 2008 called The Miser Brothers Christmas, which is where
Oh,
Santa's sick, and so the Miser Brothers have to do his
I
Santing.
vaguely remember that.
Yeah. I'm Mr. Rob Walker. I'm the CCO.
You can't go
I'm
first.
the
Doug is more important, and you know it.
They
This is
call me
realistic.
Rob Walker. Whatever I touch becomes entrenched in. I'm not ready for this. Okay. Alright,
No,
we'll
that's okay.
start.
That's the ending.
Okay, we'll start over.
Okay, that's it.
No, do it again.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I'm Mr. Doug Walker. I'm Mr. Smudge. I'm Mr. Doug Walker. I'm a schmutz. I forgot the line that you made
You
up.
guys suck at this. I like the one where Rob Walker interrupts and takes over. That was a good ending.
I'm Mr. Rob Walker. I'm Mr.
You guys
Smudge.
go in so confidently.
I'm Mr. Rob Walker. I'm Mr. 70 Page. They call me Rob Walker. Whatever I touch becomes irrelevant in my clutch.
Too much.
Too much! I never wanna know a show that's more popular than mine. I'd rather die. He's Mr. Rob Walker. I'm Mr. Drew. I'm Mr. Rob Walker. I'm Mr. Rob Walker.
They call
I'm
him
me, Rob Walker. I am Rob
Whatever he
Walker.
Turns the
Rob
smut in his
Walker, my
clutch.
God.
He's too much.
That was fucking bad. Towards the end, I was just chanting, I am Rob Walker. God damn.
Good night, America.
Good night. Good night.
I never wanna see a video that gets more than 40 views.
Oh my God.